So for a while, especially during my college years, I thought for sure that wanted to be and that I was going to be a financial advisor. My passion for finance and personal finance specifically started at a young age. I literally started working when I was 11 years old, delivering newspapers for the local newspaper company. I had worked at stores, delivered pizzas. I worked at a bank. I did all these different jobs, but I always always just wanted to make more money and find ways to make the best use of my money. And once I learned how to do that for myself, I found, you know I don't want to say pleasure, but I found value, and I genuinely felt good about helping other people with their money. Because I was always the guy, like in my friend group and with my coworkers, like people knew that I was good with money. Like I'm not saying I'm the best with money, but I knew how to invest. I told people about retirement accounts and just credit cards and all these different things. And people would, they would come to me and ask me questions, and I was more than happy to help them out. And they knew that I was in a decent financial situation. Just through conversations, folks knew that I would pay off my credit cards in full, and I would invest, and I would talk about investing and different ways to make money. And I always had side hustles and extra incomes. And that would just lead to more conversations with more individuals about personal finances and investing. And I genuinely enjoyed those conversations. And I would always walk away from those conversations with a smile, because helping people with their finances, it was an incredible feeling, right? I feel like I was talking about something that I'm genuinely passionate about, but I'm also helping people in regards to that topic. So if you can help people with something that you're passionate about, I don't really think it gets much better than that, right? So the no brainer would be to be a financial advisor, right? Like, let me help people with their money. And for a while, like I said, that's what I wanted to do. I figured that's what I was going to do, and that would be my career. So after college, I landed a job in insurance. I was traveling a bit, making presentations, developing business, and I did that for about 2 years. And then I felt like it was time to do something different. I felt like it was time to move on and start something new. And then I began applying to some positions more so on the investment side of things. And I actually received a job offer. And this position was going to allow me to get licensed and basically be my stepping stone into the world of finance, specifically towards the goal and the goal career, I guess you could say, of being a financial advisor. And then I thought about it, and I realized that you know there was a lot more to it that I necessarily hadn't thought of, I guess you can say, and maybe that's my fault. Um, but I found that there's a lot of rules and regulations to this whole financial advisor job, this whole field of finance. And I felt like it was getting complicated, or it was going to be complicated, I guess I can say. There was a lot of rules and regulations. I had to disclose all my investments. From some of the research I had done, I wasn't allowed to invest in certain things. And I didn't like that. I didn't like the sound of that. I don't like being told what I can and can't invest in. I don't like the fact that I have to disclose my investments. I don't like the fact that all my investments would have to be with the company that I work for. I didn't like all that. That feels like handcuffs. And I've worked pretty hard in, the past 20 some odd years. Well, I guess maybe not that many years, past decade or two. I did start working when I was like 11, so we are approaching 2 decades at this point. But nonetheless, that's not the point. I worked pretty hard to get to where I'm at financially, and the reason I do that is because I want to be free. I want to be financially free. I don't want to be strapped down and told what I can and can't do by an employer. I don't like being told when I can and can't take vacation. It's all bullshit, man. Like I want to be genuinely free and genuinely financially independent to the point where I could literally tell anyone to fuck off if I don't want to do what they tell me to do. And it felt like I was taking a step back with this job. And this position that that I was going to be starting, it really is the first step towards becoming a financial advisor. And I just felt like if this is the case with this position, it's probably only going to get worse as I progress towards being a financial advisor or a CFP or whatever route I ended up going with. But I just didn't like the idea of all the rules and regulations and disclosures and the limits to my personal finances that were coming along with this. And I hadn't even started the position yet. So then I took some time to think about what it is I really wanted to do. And as I mentioned earlier, I love personal finance and I love helping people. But I also hate the idea of having to answer to people because, again, I prioritize freedom and time more than anything, because freedom and time allows me to do the things I want to do with my life and spend my time with the people that I care about and that I love. So I decided not to take that job. And instead, I decided to kind of take this as an opportunity to start fresh. This is when I decided to actually move out of my parents' place, start a fresh, with a fresh slate, man, a clean slate. And I ended up getting, a job not in finance. And it's okay. It's not by any means what I want to do for the rest of my life, but it's paying the bills. It's okay. I like a lot of the people that I work with. So it's okay for now. But in order to focus on my goal of helping people with their personal finances, I went ahead and started this YouTube channel. And I've been wanting to do this for so long, and I just haven't done it. I haven't taken the leap of faith. And maybe it's because I was scared of the results or not succeeding. But this past year there's been a lot of changes for me. And I realized that, at the end of the day, life is short. And if you're going to do something, do it now, because there's no time like the present. It's never going to be a quote unquote good time to start something. So instead of, pursuing the path of becoming a financial advisor, I decided to divert my, my career and, my goals to a different path, right? The goal is to help people with their personal finances and provide value to people. And I genuinely love doing that. And anytime I speak to someone about their personal finances, I feel like you can see it in my eyes and my face that I'm genuinely passionate about it and I want to help people, but I want to do it my way. I don't want to be told how to do it. So that's why I decided to no longer pursue the career of being a financial advisor. And I've decided to take an alternate path. And this YouTube channel, I guess, is my first step towards that. I don't know what the path is going to look like. I don't know what's in store for me, but I feel much more comfortable and I'm much happier, I think, now than I would have been if I decided to pursue that position into finance. Just because, like, I don't really have anyone to answer to right now. Like, yeah, I have my job, and I got to answer to my boss, my manager, and all that. But like at the end of the day, that's just a job. What I'm truly passionate about is helping people with their personal finances, and I'm doing it on my own schedule, by my own means. I'm doing it on my own, and the only person I have to answer to in regards to this is myself. And I just think I'm so much happier now than I would have been if I took the traditional route of becoming a financial advisor, having to answer to, my manager and follow all the rules and regulations that come along with it. Like, it's just not what I wanted to do. So I decided against it, and I decided to take an alternate path. Maybe it was the right decision, maybe it wasn't. But you know what? I don't care. I'm happy with my decision. I'm sticking with it. And we'll see how it plays out. Who knows where we'll be at a year, 2 years, 10 years from now, man. Like this could end up flopping, or it could end up being massive. One way or another, we're going to find out. So I'm just going along with it, and I'm giving it everything I got. And I do enjoy making these videos, and I hope I find a way to build this up to help, thousands, if not millions of people with it. So shit, man, we'll see what happens. Only time will tell. But yeah, man, that's all I got for you guys today. Just wanted to kind of talk about that. This is kind of I don't know, it kind of hits home. It's something that I've always wanted to do. Not always, but for a long time, I always thought I was going to be a financial advisor. And it's just interesting how things have played out. and we'll see how they continue to play out. But I definitely wanted to share this. This is sort of a personal story, and I want to be as transparent as I can with you guys. So that's it, man. That's all I got for you guys today. If you're new here, I post all kinds of content about personal finance, life experiences. If you're into this kind of stuff, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I post every Tuesday and Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, and then on Saturdays at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Let me know what your guys' career goals are. What are you working towards? Where do you want to be? What did you think you were going to be doing versus what you're doing now? Like, let me know. Share in the comments down below. I love hearing from you guys. I appreciate all the views and the likes, but I really like hearing from you guys as well. I want to hear your thoughts and your opinions. So be sure to share that down below. That's it, man. That's all I got for you guys today. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.